Who wants to learn about quantum mechanics? That's so boring. But when you turn the pages, you get knowledge. And what does knowledge do to you? Knowledge gives you power and money. It stores your money. Business is war and money is soldiers. Where do we get our money from? Central banks. Central banks will either print money for us or they'll buy bonds in the open treasury market. I'm gonna go over every single soldier because every dollar, I always say every dollar is a soldier, right? I'm gonna go over every single soldier in this whole arsenal. So I always forget to ask, drop a like, it helps the algorithm. Now, what is money used for? It's an exchange of value. Specifically, got this money here for this video to explain what every single purpose of every dollar is. And side note, I went to Bank of America to pull out some bills for this video, and I was just asking the tellers, right? The tellers were right there. I asked them, what would you rather have, $1 or 1 Bitcoin? And then the bank tellers were like, yeah, I would take $1 over Bitcoin. All of them. They all said that. Working at Bank of America, it just shocked me. It was so surprising to see people working at a bank that would rather take $1 over an entire Bitcoin. And then the tellers were saying, yeah, but you can't use a Bitcoin. Like, how do you even use it? And I had to explain, you go to a brokerage, you buy or sell it, you could sell it, transfer the USD to your own bank account, et cetera, et cetera. But it's just surprising to me that it hasn't reached mainstream adoption. It's good and bad, right? The good thing is that it hasn't reached mainstream yet. Imagine when it does hit mainstream, how big Bitcoin can be. The bad is, well, it hasn't hit mainstream. What if it never does and it just fails? You don't know where it's gonna go. But it was just interesting to see that at a bank, they didn't know. But whatever, that's not what this video is about. We're gonna talk about these soldiers. This is Mr. Washington. Mr. Washington is a private. You know how there's rankings in the military? Mr. Washington is a private. Now don't underestimate this guy. He may be the lowest denomination, but he is the quickest, he can move the fastest, use this in tight situations. You want a little Snickers bar, a little snack, boom. Pop the dollar out, pop the Washington. Let me get a little Snickers bar. Next we have Mr. Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson is a specialist. This is the next ranking above a private. This guy might look like it's just the $2, right? It might look like it's just double the power of 1, but really it could be up to 5 times as powerful because if you give this to someone as a tip, they'll probably enjoy this more than a $5 bill. Why? Because how often do you see $2 bills? You never see them. Next we have Lincoln. Now this is 5 times more powerful than Mr. Washington. This is a corporal. All right, this guy, now we're talking $5 footlong at Subway, okay? You can feed 3 people, or you could feed yourself for 2 days, right? 1 6-inch one day, the 6-inch the next day. We got Mr. Corporal. This man, President Lincoln, freed the slaves. All right, this guy's a legend. Now we're getting into some serious power here. Mr. Hamilton. This is no longer going to Subway, no more $5 footlongs. Now you can get yourself a Chipotle burrito. And if you want that extra guac, you don't need to worry about the charge. You can go online and say, I know it's extra for guac. I could still afford it. Because a bowl is like $7 plus $1.85 guac and taxes. It's gonna be somewhere around $9. You'll have an extra soldier left over after spending this. So you can go to any Chipotle, give them this guy, all right? Give them the sergeant, and the sergeant will bring you back an entire Chipotle bowl with quality steak, chicken, rice, beans, a full meal. Next, we got the famous Andrew Jackson. Who doesn't know this guy? This guy is everywhere. This is probably the most common denomination we see. And this is no joke. This isn't just Chipotle, extra guac. No, we're talking about unlimited food now. Most buffets are around $20. Korean barbecues, $20. You can get all you can eat for one of these Andrew Jacksons. That's how much power he has. Flash him to whatever restaurant you're going to. Here you go, take him. Now give me unlimited food. Buffets, eat endlessly. We hungry, we eatin'. All right, this is the power of a lieutenant. Next, we have the captain, Captain Grant. This guy, this is some real firepower. This is no joke. Now, you thought you could get buffets and live lavishly with Andrew Jackson. Mr. Grant is some heavy, heavy moving power. You go to the grocery store, you could buy the most expensive steak. You could buy a filet mignon, which I don't think is the best. Ribeye is probably the best, but you could buy a nice, thick tomahawk ribeye steak if you wanted to with Mr. Grant, the power of Mr. Grant. And last but not least, Mr. Benjamin Franklin. This guy is the president. This guy is hard to move. This is a heavy hitter. This is something that you can't just throw around, right? You're not gonna go to the valet guy and give him $100 to move your car real quick like you would throw a 1, 5, or a 10. Franklin will grant you almost anything. And you know what? There's some families where they say, like, who's your idol? Who's your hero? This is actually quite funny. My friend, he told me that when he was raised as a kid, his parents were like, who do you look up to the most? And he's like, I look up to you, Dad. And his dad was like, no, you look up to money. Money's your best friend. I'm like, wow, dude, that's kind of crazy. Some people don't respect Mr. Franklin, all right? This goes away, probably this and a grant, all right? This can easily burn on a Friday night because you are miserable at your job and you just want to go have fun and you buy a bunch of alcohol. It's so sad, you know, I'm seeing these guys getting burned like, oh, you're burning these soldiers, you're burning the president. What is wrong with you? How could you lose such respect? Just like in Monopoly, when you want those prime spots, you want the boardwalk, the park place, in real life, you want to buy the most land, so you're collecting money every time someone lands on your spot, and you're winning the game of life, the game of finances. So going over all these, I know it's silly, I'm going over all these denominations of money, but paying respect to your money and valuing it and realizing how much power every single dollar has and applying it to your life is crucial. Don't just waste your money that you worked so hard to earn, because like, if you earned $50 in a day after taxes, that's probably like 70 before taxes. You had to burn like $20 just to take that 50 home. So when you spend 50, you're not spending 50, you're spending 70. So careful on your spending habits. I just wanted to go over the ranks of money. I don't know, I've always thought about money like this. I'll be curious to see what you guys think about money. I just wanted to make this video for fun. I thought it was fun. You guys thought it was fun? Don't forget to leave that like. Don't forget to subscribe with the bell for more random videos on money, personal finance, entrepreneurship, investing, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.